And we are back. How the hair are you? This is Dr. Crystal, and I am joined with my in-studio guests, Miss Maryam and also Keisha. So thank you. We are in our third segment, and I am out of breath. Trying to play it off because I had to run and go get a cord. Because if you guys don't know, you listeners, we actually broadcast live on Periscope, and I forgot my phone cord. So it could only take an hour, and so my phone died, so I had to run to another building. So I apologize for being a little bit out of breath, but hey, we made it work. We are on the air now. Hello, thank you for joining. And so we are back. So I wanted to continue our conversation about hair, and we were segueing out from talking about hair loss in the perimeter of the hair. And you had mentioned that you wanted to talk a little bit about heat damage. Yes. So Maryam, can you give a little bit of background and the reason why you want to talk about that?
Well, me being an advocate of healthy hair, whether it's relaxed or natural, I practice both. I do both. Whether it's relaxed or natural, my ultimate goal is to keep it healthy. But what I've been experiencing lately is the epidemic of people who are natural and the misconception that because it's natural, it's healthy. And where healthy hair, natural hair is a healthier hair strand because it's not chemically altered at all. I think that a lot of people miss the mark when they feel like they can color their hair and that's not really considered a chemical. Well, that's one of the factors that can make natural hair unhealthy because a practitioner may feel like they can, this hair can withstand anything. Well, a client came in recently, I'm just going to give you guys an example. A client came in recently. Now, the illusion of healthy hair can be very present in someone who wears their hair in a natural texture because it's curlier. And most of the time you cannot see what that hair strand is actually suffering from. But they'll go to different salons and get their hair blown out straight. Now, if color is present, that's one factor that's altering the makeup of the hair, the bonds and the protein that the hair is actually built up on. But when you start to blow dry it and try to get it so straight, where it gives you the illusion that the hair is coarse, perhaps sometimes in some cases more coarser than it actually is. The client that came in had color on her ends, which is the oldest part of the hair still, whether it's relaxed or natural. That's the oldest part of the hair, whether it's color treated or just virgin hair. She had color present on her hair, and when I shampooed her hair, it was very tangly. Now, if someone's hair is natural and their hair is tangly, to me that's an indication that there's some damage or some split ends going on because the hair is intertangling with each other, right? And so she wanted a blowout. She was taking pictures or whatever, and when she got in a chair and I'm getting ready to do my process, first of all, she pointed out to me, well, you're not going to use a round brush? And I was like, no, it's not necessary for your hair texture. Well, she was obviously used to someone using a round brush and then a Denman brush and then a paddle brush. So all three things to blow dry her hair 3 different times. To me, that sounded weird, Crystal. The way you're looking is like, that's ridiculous, right? Why do we even need this much?
Yeah, that's a lot. So was this a new client? This was someone you had had in your chair before, or
I had her once before when she was a child.
Oh,
She's now graduating from high school. So her mom has been taking her, and I'm gonna talk about that too a little bit after I make my point. So when I got ready to blow dry her hair, I did it in the way that's going to cause the least tension on the hair. All I'm trying to do is stretch it out so then I can go ahead and straighten it. So I don't have to use so much effort to blow it out so much to take all the integrity.
So when you say stretch it out, you basically mean you want to
elongate the strength. Exactly. Enough for me to actually see the length on the hair. That's all I need to do with the blow dryer, right? And so because I know she's gonna wear her hair straight, I know my tool that I'm choosing, I want to use one pass. One pass should be enough if you're investing in your tools, stylists that's out there listening. But when I stretched her hair out with the blow dryer and elongated her curl pattern, I noticed that the ends of her hair, not only were they super tangled and that process was extra hard, but her ends were white. It was white at the end. This color on her hair, they're tangled up and it's white. To me, that's saying that it's burnt. Someone has straightened her hair, overheated her hair in the past, and the damage is still present. Now, mind you, all my naturalistas out there, you can't see that with your visual eye, but I know for a fact that when you shampoo your own hair, it's more tangled than usual. And you don't even know why that could be, but that could just be from someone having split ends.
Okay, so I just want to say I don't have the caller yet on the air, so hold on.
Okay.
Because we will get to you, but I just wanted to let them know that they're on hold.
Okay, so make a long story short, the client wanted a hairstyle that would have needed all the dead ends, the length from the dead ends still there, but the hair won't move if you wear it straight and you avoid cutting those ends off. So I just want my people to be mindful that you can get heat damage from your hair, and it can be just as severe as getting over-processed relaxed hair. It's not your hair is just going to be perfect if it's natural. You can also damage your hair and cause even worse problems by overheating the hair, because I do know that there's some stylists that are out there who want to hot comb the hair still. They want to flat iron it and then use a barrel iron on it just to keep it straighter, but that's not helping the client's hair overall. So just keep that in mind.
Hello, caller, can you hear me?
Know that natural hair doesn't always, you can still damage natural hair. You want to add something, Keisha?
And also, I want to add to the clients when they're home trying to straighten their hair. Usually, if you have dead end, it's much harder to have those ends straightened. So I find that a lot of clients continue to apply more heat, and just to, you know, give that illusion that their hair is straight, but you causing further damage. So what's a misconception I feel with a lot of people? Once your ends are dead, they're dead. We can do certain things to camouflage the damage, like adding like a dark rinse or whatnot. Or, you know, any other, you know, product, but it's just, or doing a conditioning treatment, but it's just a temporary fix. But the only way to kind of get rid of dead end is by cutting them off. Unfortunately, it's the oldest hair on our head, and the way, if you want to grow long hair, you want to have long, healthy hair, and the way to get that is actually trimming your ends. You may see, you know, your hair going from the root, but you're not going to actually see that length if you're not maintaining your ends, because like I said, you want to have healthy long hair in the end.
Okay, thank you for that. So, caller, can you hear us? Caller, can you hear us? You are on the air. Looks like you're still on. Just wanted to make sure. Can you hear us? Okay, maybe we lost the caller. So if you tried to call, you can try to call back. I just hung up the phone. I am still trying to get used to bringing in phone calls, and I know that I can like keep you in queue and talk to you, and I tried to do that and it didn't work. But anyway, you can try calling back, and I apologize for that, but I promise to get this all straightened out. But I heard you for a second there, and then you kind of went away. But all right, so one thing that I wanted to add about the heat, and you're right with what you said about the 3 different types of brushes and needing all of that. I mean, it kind of sounds like, and I'm not I am going to stereotype the Egyptian styling, when they have excessive heat in your hair. You feel like it flows, you feel like it's, you know, the degree of straightness that you want it to be. And we talked about this last show a little bit, but you're basically denaturing the hair. And so someone made a comment after the show was over that I should have explained exactly what denature is. So let me give you an analogy. So egg is protein, and when you boil it, it's one consistency. When it's raw, it's one consistency, and when you add heat to it and scramble it, it's another consistency. So basically, you are denaturing the protein of that egg because it is changing its structure. So that's the same thing that can happen to your hair strands. When you add too much heat, and this, I didn't mean to make the analogy be with heat with the egg, but it is basically the same. You are changing the structure of the hair strand if you use excessive heat.
Right.
So when people think that they have their hair that's natural, and when you complain about your straight ends, your ends are straight because you have altered the structure, the natural structure of your hair, and that is called denaturing. So it's extremely important that you know what your hair can take. And the best way, especially if you're not a professional, the best way to gauge that is to use a heat appliance, or so whether it be a curling iron, a flat iron, or even the temperature setting on your hair dryer. You really need to know the lowest setting that your hair can take. And so it may not be bone straight.
Yes.
But if you make the degree of straightness with whatever last process you're using, so for example, if you blow dry your hair and then you flat iron it afterwards, you really want to make sure that the blow dryer is at a lower setting. You don't need it bone straight because you're going to follow it up with another heat appliance, so it makes no sense to try to get it as straight as possible that way. But then you need to use a setting on the flat iron that is the lowest setting that your hair can take. And that's just a trial and error. You have to edge it up. So I am going to try to take this call again. We're going to see what happens. All right, caller, you are on the air. Can you hear me? Hello? Can you hear me? Hello? Caller? I think I hear some noise. Can you hear me?
Is she
You know
saying
what?
something?
It's a little bit of a lag. It's a delay.
You can hear her?
I can hear the background, yeah. Caller? Yeah, because I can hear. Can you? Yes. Yes. Can you hear us? Hey, thanks. You're on the air. Well, yes. Yes.
We finally got you.
Hello. So you can't hear us.
Is your phone on mute?
Yeah, we can hear you, but she can't hear us for some reason. I don't know why. I can hear you.
Oh my God.
I can hear you, but can you hear us?
Oh, wow.
What is your question? Oh, okay. I'm good. So, what's your question? That's what I was hearing. So you can hear us, right? Yes, we can hear you.
Okay.
Okay.
Go on.
I know what the problem is.
What is it?
She's hearing a delay.
Oh.
You can ask your question at any time.
Uh-oh.
No, that's okay. Yes.
We can hear you.
It's a delay. She's listening to the delay. She can't hear us in real time.
Oh.
That's the issue.
Oh. tattoo their edges. Oh my gosh.
Thank you. I'm actually going to hang up because of the delay, but we got your question and we're going to address it. Thank you. Okay, so the question was that she was looking at a television show yesterday and they were talking about people losing their edges, and one of the things that they were doing is tattooing their edges in. So I kind of get this though. I understand this because 2 shows ago, so 2 weeks ago, I had a gentleman on and we were talking about LeBron James.
Okay.
Because I don't know if you follow basketball, but he has for a while been losing his hair. Mm-hmm. And for a while he had this artificial hairline that you could see. And I don't believe he tattooed it in, but you could tell it looks like a marker.
Right.
Or some dye.
That's what the guys are doing these days.
Right. So that's what I'm thinking she's talking about, is just a more permanent way of dyeing the hair to have that artificial line in. And I guess you could do it for a number of reasons. I guess some people I've seen use color to really define. Mm-hmm. And so I could see that being attractive to some. But it's more to define and not to replace or disguise. But I would definitely say if you are tattooing color and you have hair, you probably can have the illusion that it's thicker. Mm-hmm. If you do have color to kind of camouflage mm-hmm. some of the hair loss. But when that hair leaves, you're going to be you're going to be begging for people to kind of stare, or at least that's my take on it. What do you ladies feel?
I agree. Oh my God. But again, business people, they're smart. They know what epidemic starts and then they capitalize on them. So absolutely. It's not like they try to fix the problem per se. They try to cushion the blow, if you will, or put a Band-Aid on it and not help it.
Well, so with men, and we're going to have to end this segment and go, and complete the discussion in segment number 4, but for men in particular,
yeah.
Sometimes, like LeBron James.
Right.
It's
acceptance, people.
You just want him to embrace that he's losing his hair.
Because sometimes it don't look better. Like that spray.
Steve Harvey had to do it.
He was wearing lace fronts, I heard. The fro he had, I heard that was a lace front.
Oh.
Remember that front? And then instantly the year came when he was just bald. Really? That was a wig. No offense, Steve.
Well, so, all right. I have to say this, and then we're going to continue speaking in the next segment. So one of the things that I truly embrace is you feeling confident in yourself. Mm-hmm. Because having low self-esteem is a mother. Mm-hmm. And
it's true. And
so if you need to transition in a way that is not going to permanently alter the state of your head, because whether or not Steve had a lace front, whether or not LeBron James is tattooing, I don't think he is, but adding dye or whatever it is, if that's what he needs to transition into feeling comfortable in terms of what's going on with him, I say go for it. Okay. That's my personal belief, because there are other things in life that we deal with, and if that makes yourself feel better in the time, and you don't know how some people respond to things that go on with them.
That's true.
There are different levels of tolerance for some people, and I would always tell the story about Michael Jackson, because people would always criticize him for not feeling comfortable with himself, in particular with his nose.
Yeah.
And you just don't know how he felt about himself, and you can, on the outside looking in, can easily critique and point the finger and say, oh, he should feel this way and he should be proud, but you just don't know what he's going through. So I say all that to say, for some people, if you need to transition into finally feeling good, and embracing, as you said, then I say it's all about your self-esteem.
Yeah.
That's me.
Well, that's true. I like that you said that, because in all seriousness, I do believe that that's what these things are made for. It's people who really need them, you know, and there's a lot of people who kind of abuse it, and we bring humor to it, but there's people with low self-esteem or people who are experiencing issues where originally, like the lace fronts and the wigs and stuff were designed to help those people, like even cancer patients or whatever. This is what this was made for. So I do agree with what you're saying, and people do take a minute to transition into a new way of life, even embracing who they actually are. So that's true.
Yeah, I don't knock the the new wave of possibly tattooing in, but only if you have no other options.
Right.
I think it's for the professional and the client. You have to examine all options first, because actually doing something of that sort can possibly prevent your hair from actually growing. You know, tattooing hair into your into your scalp, color into your scalp, can actually cause further damage when possibly if you just, speak with a dermatologist or, find the right hair professional that can actually help you and educate you, you actually don't even have to go that route.
All right, so we're going to continue our discussion in our last segment, but we will be back probably, I'll cut this short, maybe about 5 minutes, because we have pretty much a hard close at 11:50. So we'll be back in between 5 and 10 minutes. So stay tuned. We'll be back. Thank you for the hearts. Really appreciate it. Come back for our final segment.